Political rivalries are as old as politics. Any fan of the hit musical Hamilton knows the show's namesake and his nemesis, Aaron Burr, had a relationship that ended with a bang. Didn't go so well. Thankfully, the days of dueling are long gone. Words are the new weapons, and on the 2020 campaign trail, as always, President Trump was packing heat.
Sleepy Joe Biden shipped away your jobs. Sleepy Joe Biden. How do you like his new sunglasses? You like them?
Joe Biden, on the other hand, may be known for a gaffe or two.
We can't rebuild our economy and meet this climate crisis.
Donald Trump does pose an existential threat to this. It's not hypothetical.
Verbal gunslinging hasn't really been Joe Biden's game. That's why this particular moment at the first presidential debate was a shot tweeted around the world.
It's hard to get any word in with this clown.
Long before the political circus of the last several years, there were times when even the staunchest of enemies could hold their fire. A famous example, Republican President Ronald Reagan and Democratic House Speaker Tip O'Neill. They were bitter foes on issues like tax cuts and military spending. They also had moments like this.
Now, it's true that Tip and I have had our political disagreements. Sure, I said some things about Tip, and Tip said some things about me. But that's all history. And anyway, you know how it is. I forget.
Unlike Reagan, Joe Biden will have a member of his own party, likely Nancy Pelosi, sitting behind him as House Speaker at his first State of the Union address. But what's happening in the Senate is the real issue. Best case scenario for Democrats right now is a 50-50 Senate split, depending on what happens in those Georgia runoffs in early January, with Vice President Kamala Harris as tiebreaker. Considering how few Republicans have even congratulated Biden on his win at this point, it's hard to imagine him bringing the Senate on board for his agenda. Pundits have compared Biden to President Lyndon B. Johnson, another leader who first had a long tenure in the U.S. Senate and deep relationships on both sides of the aisle. LBJ managed to get some of the most progressive legislation in American history passed: the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, Medicare, Medicaid. But he also happened to win the 1964 election in a landslide with a whopping 486 electoral votes, nearly 2/3 of the popular vote. He later famously didn't run for re-election, but Vietnam and its political consequences, we'll do another episode. Joe Biden is facing a very different situation as he takes oath of office. The victory depended on narrow margins in a few key states, 306 electoral votes, and the historic voter turnout, the highest in more than a century, also revealed historic levels of polarization. Biden campaigned on an ability to reach across the aisle, and with his own party. He did win over enough GOP senators to get a stimulus bill passed early in the Obama presidency. And he's known and worked with Republican Majority Leader Mitch McConnell for decades. But can Joe Biden's 50 years of political experience help him bring together our very disunited states?